Imagine, for a moment, a different way of living. A life where the noise of the world fades into a quiet hum. A life where you rise with a sense of purpose, move through your day with an unshakable confidence, and end it without the weight of the world pressing down on your chest. We live in an era of relentless demands. No matter who you are, or where you are, the world will always present you with trials. There will be people who test your patience, situations that defy your expectations, and moments that threaten to pull you into a whirlwind of anxiety. The question isn't if these challenges will come, they will. The true question is, will they dictate how you feel? For centuries, some of the wisest minds in human history dedicated themselves to a singular pursuit, mastering their own mind. They didn't seek to control the world around them, because they understood that was a fool's errand. Instead, they focused on controlling their reactions to it. They proved that true power isn't found in how much you can change your environment, but in your ability to remain a pillar of strength when everything else is in flux. What you are about to learn are the timeless principles of this philosophy. These aren't just ideas to be understood, they are a way of being. They are the keys to unlocking a version of yourself that is calm, collected, and truly free from the tyranny of external events. Let's begin. 1. The fortress of your mind. Here is a fundamental truth that can change your life. You are rarely disturbed by what happens to you. You are disturbed by how you choose to interpret what happens to you. Think about it. How many times have you let a careless word from a stranger ruin your morning? How many times has a disagreement with a colleague stolen your focus for the rest of the day? In those moments, you gave away the most precious thing you own, your inner peace. You handed the keys to your emotional fortress to an outsider, allowing them to decide if you feel serenity or chaos. The ancient Stoics understood this better than anyone. They knew that a person's greatest victory is not in a physical battle, but in the battle for their own mental state. When you feel the familiar sting of a criticism or the frustration of a plan gone wrong, you have a choice. You can let that emotion take root and grow, or you can recognize it for what it is, an external event with no power over your mind unless you give it power. 2. Observe, don't absorb. One of the most common traps we fall into is becoming one with our emotions. Something unpleasant happens, and we instantly dive headfirst into the feeling. We don't just experience anger, we become anger. We don't just feel sad, we become sadness. This is a critical error. When you are fused with an emotion, your judgment becomes clouded. Your perspective shrinks. It is like trying to read a single word on a page with a magnifying glass. You can't see the sentence, the paragraph, or the story because you are too focused on the micro detail. The solution is to learn the art of emotional distance. See yourself as an observer of your own thoughts. When a storm of emotion begins to brew, create a space between you and it. Ask yourself, what is the evidence for this feeling? Is this situation truly a disaster, or is it just an inconvenience? By simply observing your emotions instead of being controlled by them, you reclaim your rationality. You see the bigger picture, and the problem that seemed so overwhelming begins to shrink back to its proper size. 3. It's not about you. This is a powerful, liberating truth. The world is not a stage built for your personal drama. The way people treat you is often a mirror of their own inner world, not a reflection of your worth. When someone is rude, dismissive, or aggressive, their behavior reveals their own struggles, their own fears, their own lack of peace. It's an expression of what is happening inside them. Yet, most people interpret this as a personal attack, internalizing the negativity and making it their own burden to carry. The moment you free yourself from the belief that everything is about you, life becomes significantly lighter. You stop absorbing the energy of others. You stop carrying the baggage that belongs to them. You begin to see the world through a lens of compassion and understanding, rather than one of defensiveness and offense. 4. The power of the present. Where does your anxiety live? In the uncertain future. Where does your regret live? In the unchangeable past. Where does your peace live? Right here, in this very second. We often burden ourselves with a heavy backpack filled with the what-ifs of tomorrow and the should-haves of yesterday. We walk through the day, weighed down by fears and memories, missing the life that is happening right in front of us. The most effective way to calm a troubled mind is to anchor it in the now. You can't solve tomorrow's problems with today's anxiety. You can't rewrite yesterday's chapters. All you have is this moment, to breathe, to think, to act. By focusing entirely on the task at hand, You not only become more effective, but you also silence the noisy chatter of the past and future. To be truly unbothered is not to live a life without problems. It is to become a person who is bigger than their problems. It is about building an inner fortress so strong that the storms of life cannot breach its walls. It is the cultivation of a mind that remains a sanctuary of calm, no matter what is happening in the world outside. This is your greatest potential. It is time to claim it.